Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. Let us discuss on C programming. There are several IDEs available to run a C program. CodeBlocks is one of those IDEs. It is an open source platform. To download CodeBlocks, first go to the link codeblocks.org and then click on the link wiki. We can go through the information available in this website to understand more about CodeBlocks. Once the wiki page is open, scroll down a little and click on install CodeBlocks. Now let us see how to install CodeBlocks in Windows operating system. Click on first hyperlink. Here they have provided installation steps clearly. Basically, CodeBlocks provides two variants. One is with MinGW compiler, one is without compiler. If you download without compiler, then you have to configure compiler path manually. As a beginner, I recommend you to download the build which is with MinGW compiler. For that, first click on this download path and select Windows operating. As I told earlier, let us install the setup which is with MinGW compiler. We can download the setup from either of these two links. Select one of the link. Based on our system configuration, we can select one of the variant. I am selecting 64-bit including compiler. Once setup is downloaded, open the setup file. Now let us follow the installation steps as shown on this pop-up window. Click on Next. Agree to the license. Click on Next. This IDE will be installed in this path. Installation will take a few minutes. Now installation has been completed. Now let us select Yes to open IDE. Click on Next and Finish. This is how CodeBlock IDE looks like. Now let us see how to write a simple C program and execute C program. First we need to create a project. For that, click on Create New Project. As we are going to write a C program, select Console Application. Click on Go. So click on Next to proceed. Select C. Give project name here. As it is a project title, no need to give any extension. I am giving project name as sample program. Here you can select the path where you want to store your programs. Then click on Next. As we downloaded the build with MinGW compiler, the compiler has been selected automatically. If you want to use another compiler, you have to select the install compiler from here and finish. So this is our project, and by default one source file is added to our project. Here we can see a sample program which is provided by IDE itself. These are the header files required to run this simple C program, and this is a definition of main function. In any C program, execution of program will start from main. Printf is a predefined function which is used to print the message on the console. Console is nothing but output screen. Whatever written within these double quotes, that will be printed on console. And one basic rule in C programming is every statement will end with a semicolon. And here they provided return type of main function as integer. So that is why this statement is required. Some written 0. I know it is difficult to understand all these things at this point of time. We shall discuss more details in upcoming videos. As of now, just understand whatever written within double quotes inside printf statement will be printed on console. After writing a C program, we need to compile the code first. Compilation checks if there are any syntactical errors in our code. In CodeBlocks IDE, to compile our program, we need to use this option. It is build. So now compilation is completed, and here you can see 0 errors and 0 warnings in our code. So after compilation, we need to execute our code. So to execute code, we need to use option run. Once you click on run button, it executes our code and output will be produced. Here you can see the output of our program. It is hello world. As per the instruction given here, press any key to go back to the programming. Now let us remove this \n to understand what is the purpose of this special character. Save. Previously we have seen what is the purpose of build and run. Build is to compile our program. Run is to execute our program. Either we can do it separately. Once the compilation is done, we can go for run, or we can select this option which compiles our code first and then run. So now I am checking this build and run option. So this is the output when we executed this printf statement without \n at the end. This was our previous code where \n was present. If you see here, after printing output hello world, there is one extra line, and in this program if you see, there is no extra line. I hope you understand what is the purpose of \n. So basically this \n is used to print a new line. Now go back to our programming. So now simply I am removing semicolon here. Save the code and build it. So see here, we got one compilation error, that is semicolon missing. As we discussed earlier, in C programming every statement will end with a semicolon. So now let us build again. There are no compilation errors and no compilation warnings. If there are any compilation errors, we will not be able to run our code. If there are any warnings, we will be able to run the code, but it is not recommended. It is always recommended to clear all errors and warnings. Now let us remove 0 after return statement. Save, build. So here you can see an example of a warning. The warning says return with no value. See here, we have used return statement but there is no value. So in our build, there is one warning here. See, though there is one warning present, we are able to execute the code. But if there is an error, we will not be able to execute our code. Hope you understand the difference between a error and a warning. If you violate a mandatory rule, then compiler throws a error. If you violate a rule which is not mandatory, then it will throw a warning. And these warnings are depending on the compiler. See, for example, in this code blocks, if a value is missed after return statement, it is throwing a warning. But in some compilers, it may throw a error. In real time, it is our responsibility to clear all the warnings along with the errors. Now let us keep 0 back. Save, build. Now build is completed and there are no errors and no warnings. See, already we have given a build. If you try to give the build again, see how the IDE responds. I am clicking on build again. See, it shows target is up to date. That means there are no changes done from the previous build. As there are no changes, the compiler is not performing build again. Only if you do some changes, then only it compiles. But if you want to build the program, though there are no changes, in that case we need to use this option, that is rebuild. Click on rebuild. Yes. So the main difference between build and rebuild is, what build does is, first time it builds the entire project and later on it compiles only the update what we have done from the previous build. And rebuild is an option every time it builds entire project. So if there are 100 lines of code, then it compiles 100 lines every time. Hope you understand how to execute a C program in code block. And now let us see the very important option, which is step-by-step execution. In real time, when you are working, every time you will not write the entire code. You have to work on the code which was written by your colleague. If any issue arises, then you have to debug their code. So this step-by-step option will be helpful to develop your debugging skills. Along with program writing skills, you need debugging skills to work efficiently in real time. I am keeping \n again. I am just adding few more printf lines. Some 5 printfs I have now. Let us build and run. See here, this run option execute all the statements which are in your main function, and the output is 5 times hello world. Now let us see how to execute one step at a time. See here, I am going to use option breakpoint. Right click here and add a breakpoint. Then click on debug option. See, this is our output screen. Previously you have seen the output on this screen, but now you see it is a blank one because as of now we have not executed even one statement. So this is our IDE and this is our output screen. So now we just broke the execution process by keeping a breakpoint here. Let us execute the first statement. To execute this line, click on next line. See, now you can see the yellow cursor is here. That means previous statement was executed. You can see the output on the screen, which is hello world. Let us execute one more statement. Click on next line. You can see another hello world. So like this, whenever you press on this next line, one statement will be executed. This is how we do step-by-step execution. This feature helps to understand how a C program will be executed by the processor internally, so that we can rectify any logical errors present in our code. To understand \n purpose, let us remove / from all these printf statements. Say build and execute. See, all the output statements are printed in the same line and it doesn't look good. So always make sure the code and the output are understandable to others. Topics that we discussed today are how to download and install code blocks, create a project in code blocks and write a C program. While executing C program, we have seen options such as build, run, build and run, and rebuild. We also have seen the difference between build and rebuild. We discussed how to do step-by-step execution, which is nothing but debugging. In this, we have seen options, breakpoint, and next line. There are few more options available in debug, which we can discuss in upcoming videos. We also have seen some C programming rules such as every statement end with semicolon, simple printf function syntax, /n use in printf, and we have seen different compilation errors and warnings. There are runtime errors and logical errors as well, which we can discuss in future videos. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day.